Hello, I'm Nullen, and in this series we cover a quick intro to TEAL. In this video, I'll demonstrate how to read and write from Scratchbase using TEAL, and explain why and when you would use it. Scratchbase can be thought of as temporary memory, which you can use to directly store values to and retrieve values from during evaluation. This allows you to manage up to 256 additional pieces of data without having to excessively manage the stack. You may want to think of them as somewhat similar to variables in higher-level languages, but rather than having custom variable names, they're assigned slot numbers ranging from 0 to 255. Scratchbase can be useful if you currently have a value on the top of the stack which you know you will need to use later, or you will need to use multiple times during the group's evaluation. For example, in this code snippet we take two unsigned integers as arguments and calculate the product, which during evaluation will now be at the top of the stack. But what if we want to use this value in various checks throughout the rest of the code, without having to calculate it each time we need it? We may want to perform checks such as, is it even, is it larger than 100, and is it equal to 88? To do this, we can store the result in Scratchbase after we first calculate it and whilst it's still on the top of the stack. Then, each time we need it, we can simply load the value from Scratchbase, which places it back on the top of the stack. Now, when we check, is it even, is it larger than 100, and is it equal to 88, we don't need to perform the calculation each time. Another example would be using Scratchbase when creating loops. This allows you to keep track of how many iterations you've completed before breaking out of the loop, all while keeping the stack nice and clear and just using a single Scratchbase slot to hold the counter. Once again, remember that Scratchbase is temporary and can only be written to during the transaction's evaluation. Additionally, reading from Scratchbase is only available during the current transaction and any transactions which follow it within the current atomic group. As a final example, here we use the opcode gloads, which allows us to read the Scratchbase slot number 10 of the previous transaction within the group. If the Scratchbase in question was never set, then this value defaults to 0. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, have a great day.